All right. I should probably do this. I'm gonna let you see my full screen. All right. What is going on? Fight night. What is going on, SFC community? Rags here, along with special guest commentator, Fight Night's finest, and today we will be presenting to you SFC 1. This is obviously the card. We have Kerry Washington versus Roger Watts to open up the card. James Toney versus Lano Santiago as our co-main event, and Dyson Fury versus Raymond Johnson, or myself versus Brahmi as our 10-round main event. First off, before we get into the card, let's take a look at some of the amateur rankings. Some of the amateurs that are top in the league at the moment are Javier Urbina, in other words, Nang, Kagi Hernandez Jr., who was 5-1, Hemi Gendricks, who is 3-0, and Kerry Washington, who stepped up and fought Roger Watts today, who was 4-5. Moving on to the next thing that I want to go over before we start the card, the SFC Unified Rules. So the SFC Unified Rules, minimum step punching. You can still step for defense, but we don't want step punching like that. No more than over 200 punches thrown for each punch. In 8-round bouts, jab is an exception. Um, 230 for 10-round bouts and 275 for 12-round bouts. Body shots cannot exceed 40% compared to total punches thrown. No chicken wing punches. Obviously, we all know what chicken wing punches are. And no push straights. So without any further ado, let's hop straight into the first fight of the evening. Wait, hold on.
So, Rax, why don't you introduce our third man in the booth?
Oh, yeah. All right. The third man in the booth, we have Mike Granger, SFC Hall of Famer. So what's going on, Mike? How excited are you for this card?
What's good, y'all? Man, hey, I'm really excited for this card, you know. It's great to be back and just to be in the booth with y'all, man. Hey, it's gonna be lit. Nothing but fireworks today.
Indeed, indeed. So here we go. Here we go. First fighter of the night, we have Roger Watts taking on Kerry Washington. Fight starts off with a bit of lag. All right, here we go. Watts obviously has some pressure on him as Kerry Washington did step in on very short notice to take this fight. So Watts obviously has some pressure on him fighting a 4-5 amateur. Obviously both of their pro debuts, but you know the guy, his last fight he lost to Louis Mancini, who was 1-4. So Watts, the pressure is on him to have a good performance out here. Both guys starting off a little bit slow, using the jab. Not sure what Watts is going for here.
We got Watts in the southpaw stance and Carries in the orthodox.
Yep, so always some type of it's always a mystery on what each fighter is going to do to, to each other, as they barely, see the opposite stance.
Carry coming out with the
one of the things I'm saying that Kerry Washington do wrong here is he's constantly backing himself up to the ropes or the corner, and if anything, Mike, that Watts can switch to be a deadly pressure fighter. He'll use that as encouragement to pressure. I'm not sure what he's doing now, but yeah, that's just something to note. Kerry
I
Washington may
think,
want to start coming forward.
yeah, I agree with you right there. And I think for Watts, I think he's just downloading information right now. And, once he sees Kerry's movement or what Kerry brings to the table, he's going to keep pushing him against the ropes. And, he's going to let the shots fly, man. So
Yes,
I
sir.
agree with you right there. Because we know, I know how Watts is. You know what I'm saying? We know how Watts is.
Both men, I'd assume, are at 100% stamina, fresh going into this second round.
That was a fill-out round. I feel like that was a fill-out round for both of them.
Indeed. Oh, that was a nice uppercut that slipped in there by Watts. Oh, straight gets through the guard there.
Got 8 rounds of action. So, something going to pop off.
For sure. Watts starting to pressure a bit more, I'm saying. It was a good little body uppercut he slipped in there. Trying to get some combinations flowing. Okay. Washington, I'm seeing him kind of hunt for counters, counter fishing. That's what I'm kind of seeing here with all the head movement. It's a good little body combination there, slipped in by Watts. Oh, that was a nice uppercut to the head there by Watts. Oh!
Oh, he hurt him.
Oh, he drops Watts.
Wow.
Wow.
The
In the
counter
second
punching
round.
the timing and the counter punching by Kerry. Maybe that's what he was waiting for the whole time.
Indeed.
Wow, that was for sure a flash knockdown. That wow.
And we're seeing Watts apply some more pressure now. Not sure.
He may pick. He probably gonna pick up the pace and the urgency after after that.
Exactly. Especially not being sure who won that first round.
Hey, shoot, that kind of surprised me, bro. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, Washington with a beautiful counter punch there, and Watts probably wasn't expecting it. And you see, that's what I was talking about. If Washington could get on the front foot, look at what he can do. We seen just a glimpse of him on the front foot there, and he was able to get a knockdown. Let's see if, that encourages him to come on the front foot even more.
Yeah, he's kind of tricky. You know what I mean? Kind of slippery. Got nice little head movement. He countered that one pretty nice. And it's heavyweight, man. It's a different ball game. All it takes sometimes is one punch.
Indeed. Here we go, round 3. Watts coming out swinging. Yeah, I think that one might have woken him up. That one might have woken Watts up. Good shots by both men. Oh, that was a nice shot there by both men. Actually, they're actually
great exchange right there.
It's turning into a brawl right now.
This my type of fight.
Oh, that's a nice counter there by Washington.
Oh, you got to get off the ropes.
Yeah, oh yeah, no doubt about it. Because you see, Watts isn't falling for the counter fishing. All the head movement, that's just fuel for Watts to go to the body. And you seen it with the multiple power uppercuts to the body that he just landed.
Like, I feel like for Washington, like we've seen obviously the good, getting the counter punching, going forward, the slippery head movement, the timing, and then he got the knockdown. But we can he's hurt right now. But we can also see the bad, you know what I mean? Like him getting pushed up against the corner or the ropes. Like right now, you know, he needs to keep going forward or doing what he was doing in round 2.
Right, right.
Because I just think for Watts, I think for him, he just has to pick up the pace and the pressure and the tempo of the fight. I think, you know, it's kind of too slow, and it kind of fits at Washington's game. But if they fight at a faster pace, like right now, I think it fits Watts.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. You know, I feel that especially if Watts doesn't, you know, go head hunting, this could, you know, potentially be bad for Washington, as we're seeing Watts, you know, go to the body. You know, we're seeing Watts, you know, show some veteran tactics here.
Hey, we got ourselves a fight, man. I don't know how the first round is scored, but round 2 we know, and I think round 3 you can argue that for Watts, man. We got ourselves a fight.
Yup. Yes, we do.
It could be even right now.
And okay, so at the moment they have Washington up 29 to 27.
Okay.
This is going to be it's going to be fun to see how Watts adjusts knowing that he's down 2 rounds.
Yeah, and then,
Or
you
2
know, like we
points, at
said,
least.
we didn't know, you know, who won the first round. It was kind of close, you know.
Yeah,
Tic-tac
yeah.
for tic-tac.
Both men not doing too much. Washington
Yeah, if I'm Watts, man, I'm getting right up in his face, and I'm gonna let the shots fly, you know.
Yup. And we're seeing him do something like that right now.
But like you said, though, I like what you pointed out, like being smart, like an educated pressure. Just don't headhunt, you know, go to the body, come back up top, you know what I mean? Switch up the angle, pivot a little bit, you know?
Right, because a fighter like Kerry Washington will thrive off of that head hunting, as we see, you know, the counterfishing constantly moving his head. You know, so Watts, you know, being smart overall will pay out for him here in the future. In the future of the fight.
And that's one way to slow down a guy who's a counterpuncher like Washington, who moves his head and who moves around, is go to the body, man. He's moving his head right now, but if you invest into the body, round 7, round 8, he ain't gonna be moving his head like that.
Indeed. We're seeing him go to the body with vicious uppercuts right now.
Ooh.
Oh, that was a nice power straight.
Ooh.
Oh, that was a nice uppercut that slipped in there by Washington.
Yeah, Washington, he's in control of the fight for right now. But if I'm him, you know, you don't want to get too comfortable, man. I know you got that knockdown, but I think he should go back to doing what he did in round 2. He was going forward a little bit, and he was pushing Watts back.
Right. Oh, vicious hook to the body by Watts there.
Oh, now he's just getting stuck in the corner and stuff.
Yeah, this isn't the type of fight that you want. Watts just punishing him.
Nah, if I'm in Washington's corner right now, I'm telling him circle out, get to the middle of the ring, and use your jab right now, man.
Right. Watts just gonna stay in his face, and yeah, Watts is just okay. Well, he's backing up now, but yeah, this is obviously Watts' fight, man. This is how he's gonna win rounds, by pressuring, you know, the well, I believe they're both the same height and reach, which is pretty interesting. But yeah.
Oh, he just switched to southpaw.
He just switched to southpaw. That's something that's interesting as well. Let's see what he can find in there. He's fishing for a jab to the body right now. He goes right back to orthodox.
He said, "I'm good." Nah.
Yep. Southpaw is not for me. He's doing a good job of blocking these punches, returning with his own fire. And now,
this is where I feel like, oh my, I didn't mean to cut you off, Rax, but this is where I feel like Washington is kind of messing up. Watts is taking time to recover. He's taking his breath. This is where you got to score points. You know, Watts was even backing up, giving him the ring control and everything, and Washington was just sitting there floating. I'd have been in there trying to score points. Like, this is a round where you don't know who's winning, or you can go get this round. You know what I'm saying? You can't get too comfortable out here, man. You can't.
Oh, that was a
Ooh,
nice uppercut there by Washington. This was another even round. I'd say Watts probably would edge it because of, the work he did early in the round with the vicious body uppercuts and the hooks as well, the vicious body attack that he put on. But, at the end there, it kind of got a little bit even. Washington slipping in some good uppercuts and 1-2s for himself. Oh,
see,
there you go. There goes
that's
a counter.
that was a close round. That if Washington would have been a little bit more active, he could have for sure, you know what I mean, took that round.
No doubt about it.
Because to me, that was a round where I saw Watts doing good in the beginning, and then he kind of took a break. He took a break in that round.
Right. Now he's going right back to the early round.
Now he's going right.
Oh!
Ooh, hurt him. And he might go down. Big shots coming in. Big shots. Ooh, see?
And look at that. Watts is able to get the knockdown. And what was a close fight, Watts, we don't know the scorecards right now. Shoot, man, this one right here will be, yeah,
It's no telling
this
what
is,
the
yeah,
judges is looking at.
exactly. This is a game changing knockdown right here.
And also for Washington, don't be afraid to clinch and mess up the rhythm of Watts. And that might even get Watts mad if you keep clinching him. You know what I'm saying? There's just little tactics I feel like Washington can be using his jab, circling to the middle of the ring. Even right now, like trying to disrupt his rhythm and patterns, like just clinching. Like even if you're not hurt, just to clinch someone like Watts, it might piss him off. Like, why is this dude clinching me?
Right,
You're just
right,
trying to throw off his rhythm. You know what I'm saying?
right. Now, hey, Finest, how do you see this fight after the knockdown?
Honestly, it's been kind of hard to score it.
Right.
Both guys are game. Both guys are doing their best to get onto the inside and score offense. So I think it's anybody's fight going into the round 7.
Right. Both of the guys have a knockdown each, and with the rounds without a knockdown, it's been very close. Other than, I think, round 4, that was a clear round for Watts, I believe. But everything else has been close.
Yeah, I don't think, you can't really say one of these fighters is in control of this fight. It really is a close fight right now, and anyone's ball game heading into round 7 and 8.
Yep, going into the final 2 rounds of the fight. We've seen Watts take another break, but one thing that is for concern here is Kerry Washington's stamina. 72%. It's kind of an area for concern, I'd say, as for right now. Oh, Watts coming forward again. The battle of the Mohawks, man. Watts versus Washington.
Wow.
Oh. Washington, yeah, like you said, he needs to disrupt the time and clinch. He can't just try to fight back. He has to circle out. I see him trying to fight back and try to be a hero, but he needs to circle out, block some punches.
Yeah, or,
I'm seeing his health get very low here. And yeah, there we go. Yeah, Washington, I think the second knockdown right there, that should have been a wake-up call, man. He can't be, trying to he can't be trying to kind of trying to stand his ground against a guy like Watts. He has to kind of, clench, circle out. Just don't try to trade with him here. Now I think that Watts is in control of the fight now, and I believe Washington, he's going to need a big round 8 to pull things off here. And uppercut by Watts, and the combinations flow. Washington goes down for a third time in this fight. Second time this round. Referee has to be looking to step in and stop this fight right now, but Washington, he does get back up to his feet. And Mike,
Oh man.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
exactly what you were talking about. Like he needs to try to clinch, disrupt the timing before before he gets in danger with his health.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to use that push. Like we can't push straight in here, but you can use that push for defense. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying? So like you can clinch, push. I feel like there's little things that Washington could have did in this fight, to prevent all of this from happening, especially after he scored that first knockdown or his only knockdown in the fight.
right. And the scorecards are a bit wide, I will say, but that's the type of we try to warn that this may happen because of the fact that Washington isn't coming
Oh,
forward. Yeah,
he
he's
had a
coming
couple
forward
good
with some
counters.
counters. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh. Oh man.
oh, he just took a big shot. Yeah, and this is dang. He's in the ropes and
Oh.
against the corner. Yeah, see, we
It's
pointed
just
that out in round one, man. This is where you do not want to be here, man, especially against Watts.
and yeah, like you said, man, it did seem that Watts took that first round. We were just all kind of like, maybe a slow start / what is he doing? He did take that round to fill him out and download and process information. Now we're seeing him lead off. You see, when he leaded off to the head, he got countered. We're seeing him lead off with a body shot, and I think that as well. Oh,
Oh,
that was cold. Dang. But we're seeing
oh
him lead
man.
off of body power shots, and that right there, that could have been also what could have killed Washington's stamina going into these later rounds.
What a mean uppercut.
Yeah, that was a mean uppercut, perfectly timed, and
And
Washington goes down in the corner.
like what we were talking about, bro. You invest into the body. These counter punchers or these guys who move their head a lot, they ain't gonna be moving their head in round 7, round 8. And
Right.
look, Watts being a vet, took time to download information, and then went to the body and just got the stoppage.
Right. Right. Now, Finest, what
Hey,
did you
nothing
see
but
in that
respect
fight?
though.
It was a lot of slugging going on, and generally, I think anytime you have a competitive match, stamina management is very crucial. So because Watts didn't have very good stamina management, he ended up paying the price for it. I think Mike said it best. If you're gonna move your head like that, you better have a game plan to make sure you finish the fight early.
No doubt. Now, on to our next bout, the co-main event. We have my ears. We have James Toney facing Lano Santiago. This right here, I believe this right here has potential to be fight of the night. Just two high level guys, two high level guys going at it. In what should be a great competitive and fun co-main event.
Hey man, nothing but respect to Washington for taking that fight and moving up and stuff like that on short notice. And he has a lot of heart and he can learn from this for sure. You know what I'm saying? It ain't over. You live to fight another day. So, nothing but respect to Washington.
James Toney kind of coming out with a smaller build, the 72-inch arm reach. Let's see if that'll be a point of concern as the fight goes on. They're both around the same weight, but obviously the 10-inch reach advantage for Santiago is going to be a point of concern. Yeah, man. Obviously, both of these guys are around the same skill level, but yeah. Now, before we get into this, Finest, what are, you, Alvarez or Toney has been a long time watcher of your streams. I know you sparred him before a few times. What can you tell us about his style and what to expect from him here?
Now, you did mention that he is coming in with a 72-inch reach, so him having the reach disadvantage actually works to his advantage, as he is a fighter who likes to bang with combinations on the inside. So considering the fact that he likes to be close to his opponents and use various combinations, high and low, 3 or 4 punches, and bunches in general, I think if he gets the real estate or the territory where he wants to be, it will favor him. However, we know Fight Night Champion as a game in general, the person who has the reach advantage and height advantage normally dominates on the outside where you want to be. That's the real estate that is always advantageous. So if Alvarez can get onto the inside, he can do damage. However, if he decides to stay on the outside and attempt to box, it should be a very easy night for his opponent.
No doubt about it. Great breakdown there. And, let's see what type of fight we get from these two. I'm expecting this to be a good one, but obviously seeing, the height and the reaches of the fighters, like Fine said it best, man, it kind of limits James Toney to fight on one style, which is on the inside. And, yeah, he doesn't really have another choice if he wants to win this fight, unless he, wants to be at a huge disadvantage here. Seems like they had trouble getting it going, but here we go. James Toney, Lano Santiago, 220 pounds versus 228 pounds. Yeah. Bro, the audio sounds choppy as heck, bro. Bro, it sounds choppy. But there goes James Toney, lights out, making his SFC debut. Obviously, he's very experienced, as you've seen by the record. He's coming in here, with a reach disadvantage, and he's going to want to, fight on the inside. This audio sounds cracked, bro. Choppy. Santiago, obviously, the taller fighter for longer reach. He has a bit of a easier job here, I'd say, but, obviously the hard part is keeping Toney on the inside. Both of these guys very experienced, and this should be a great one.
Yeah.
Our co-main event here, 8 rounds, State Farm Arena, Atlanta, Georgia.
Let's go.
Good jab there by Toney. That was a nice jab there. Audio kind of sounds desynced as well. Oh, that was a nice combination. And what I can say from sparring Lano Santiago, okay, well, this audio, bro, it's not going to cut it. But what I can say from sparring Lano Santiago is that if you let him get in rhythm, if you let him get his combinations going, then you're in for a long night. Obviously, I was able to keep him off of me for, the better part of 6 rounds. But once he started to get those combinations going, it was a problem because, his combinations are truly different, one of a kind. And, obviously a 10-round spar is different from an 8-round pro fight, so he's going to want to get into rhythm a lot quicker here. But, Toney is a different opponent, so let's see what Toney's going to do. But they both seem that, they're willing to trade on the inside, so we're in for a banger. Good jab there by Toney.
Ooh.
Yeah, audio's chopped. Good jab by Toney. Yeah, like as Fine said, we're seeing Toney get some of these hooks in on the inside. Whereas Santiago's will go over the head of Toney.
Yeah, and you know, I like his little movement, his little feints he's throwing in too.
Indeed. To try to,
He's not, yeah,
get Santiago to bite.
yeah, he's not walking in fully every time. Like he's doing like this little twitch movement where he go like real quick, and then he'll get Santiago to bite, overcommit.
Overall, that was a great round, and you know, taxing for the stamina, but yeah. Round 2 of 8, here we go. And that was a nice hook there by Toney. Nice jabs by both men. Oh, nice uppercut gets through Santiago. And Toney answers that. That was a good jab that got in by Toney. He's able to get in on the inside pretty freely. Something I've noticed.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like he's working too hard to get into the inside or fight in the pocket.
Indeed. Santiago tried to keep him off with the power straight, but he was just slightly out of range.
That be concerning for Santiago the fight.
Oh, there
he's
goes
already able. Ooh. Hey, the combination's starting to fly in this round.
Yep. Oh, that was a nice power straight there by Santiago. Both of them trading inside of the pocket there. I felt Toney might have won that exchange though. Oh!
Ooh.
The power straight.
Straight. Here come the big shots. Santiago on the attack. Oh, he let him off the hook. Maybe he didn't. Ooh.
Oh man, he just barely caught Toney in the middle of the
Yeah,
combination.
I thought he almost let him off the hook, man.
Yeah, man, that was just beautiful work by Santiago. Just smart pressure as we seen in our last fight with Roger Watts. And that was kind of what
I thought Toney was about to survive that barely.
Right. That was kind of what we were talking about with with Toney being able to get on the inside freely. One of the biggest, if people are getting on the inside freely against you, throw that power straight, And now we're seeing Toney, we're seeing him land his punches and get out of range. See, he's stepping back. He baited out that power straight. Now he's starting to work. That was a good jab there by Toney. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 again. Both try to land with the power straight. Oh, that was a nice jab there by Toney. And I feel like the biggest problem for Toney is these punches by Santiago at the end of the combination. Those are the problem because Santiago has the longer reach. So as Toney's trying to get out of range, Santiago is clipping him with some of these punches. Okay. Not too. That was a good block there by Santiago.
Ooh.
And yeah, we're seeing James Toney throw a bit more punches now to get on the inside. This is kind of the advantage. And you kind of seen that power straight just go right over Toney's head there. Toney doing a better job blocking the power straights now.
Yeah, he's definitely looking for that power straight.
Indeed. Bit of a long combination there by Santiago. Toney's boxing pretty well this round. I'd have to say that so far this round has been his. Finest, after 3 rounds of action, how do you see this fight?
Well, the reach advantage is definitely causing Alvarez to struggle. James Toney is going to have to start trying to make some adjustments by not coming in so recklessly. I think he did a better job of coming in more safely in the last round and being able to get his combinations off. However, he has to carry that momentum going into the rest of the fight.
No doubt about it. And I believe the scorecards did reflect what Finest just said, as they had Santiago taking the first 2, obviously the knockdown round in the second for Santiago, and James Toney taking, the third. So if Toney can mount some momentum here going into the rest of the fight, that would be
Ooh.
great. But yeah, we're seeing Santiago come
Oh.
out of nowhere with these combinations. The combinations.
Ooh.
Oh, Toney gets rocked again and he falls. Oh,
Oh.
Toney gets knocked down again. The left hook by Santiago. Santiago
Oh.
applying pressure now. This could be a point of concern here though, as Toney does have the shorter reach. So Toney, if Santiago wants to try to come forward and be in Toney's face, then yeah.
Santiago, man, he got a lot of confidence right now.
Yeah, he's swinging with confidence. Overall, man, I just think that Toney, him, being the size he is, that's what's breeding a lot of this confidence here. And Santiago already knowing that he's been able to clip Toney. Oh, and there we go again,
Oh,
the power straight.
he timed him with the big straight. Combinations coming in, shots after shots. Santiago going for it. Oh, man.
Yeah, this was a tough round for James Toney after, his best round in the fight. But, you know, after looking at that round, I believe there's still some things that Toney can do. He just has to watch out for the power straight, which is extremely difficult with the reach and size discrepancy that there is between the two.
Yeah, it's tough because it's like the reach advantage, and it's like even if you're in the mid range, you still gonna get caught by that shot. The only way he probably won't is if he's really like close up on him in the
Right.
phone booth.
We're seeing him try it right now.
You got to smother him just like
Because,
that.
see, Santiago is. Kerry Washington is a poor man's version of Santiago. That's pretty much what I'm going to try to say here. We're seeing Santiago here on the back foot, but Santiago is showing people how it's done if you want to fight on the back foot. This is how you do it. Oh, that was nice combinations there by Toney. But yeah, if you want to fight on the back foot, this is how you do it. You want to, use your reach, use the range, box with the power straight, and have some good combinations in your back pocket just in case things get fuzzy.
Ooh.
It's a nice combination there by Santiago. And yeah, Mike, I do see what you're talking about. Santiago obviously wins the long range battle. He also wins the mid range battle most of the time. The only battle that he's going to lose is the close range battle, and his combinations seem to be bailing him out in close range. So,
yeah, I think Toney needs to go to the body a little bit more.
right.
Oh.
They both trade. See, Santiago throws these long. You see that? That was an 8-punch combination. Oh man, Toney gets stunned again and goes down again. See, I think that after those 8-punch combinations, that's when you can really attack freely. Toney, well, he got up to one knee and the ref waved it off. Man, James Toney stopped by Lano Santiago in 5. Finest, what was your overall assessment of that fight?
Well, went the way I expected it. Alvarez was not able to be defensively responsible on his way to the inside and stood directly in front of his opponent and therefore end up getting dinged up whenever he tried to throw combinations outside of range. And then as soon as he did get in range, took way too much damage by the time he let go of his combination. So, like I said, outside is king in Fight Night Champion. That is a perfect example of what outside is king looks like.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt, both fighters are good, but Santiago was just able to manage the outside a lot better. Now on to our main event. Raymond Johnson versus Dyson Fury. Myself, Finest, having experience with both of the fighters, what can you say that the fans are in for with this matchup right here?
Based off knowing both of the fighters, I would expect it depends on how Brahmi decides he wants to fight tonight. Does he want to actually be technical, or is he going to get in there and mix it up? If he gets in there and attempts to mix it up, as he's been known to do, we could have a fight that is absolutely crazy on the inside. Both guys exchanging a lot of punches, both guys going at it and just going straight for the knockout.
Man.
Or if Brahmi decides to box on the outside, use his jab, and be the high-level technical fighter on this night, it should be a night where Alvarez struggles severely. So let's see what it is that we experience here in this main event. As you hear that opening bell, and both men are coming straight to the center of the ring to try to do what it is they do best, which is stand there and look at each other.
Yeah, man. Me and Brahmi are pretty much texting, and I had my HDMI plugged into my PC. So yeah, here we go. Mike, I'm gonna ask you the same question since you have experience with both of us. What type of fight are you expecting tonight in our main event?
I think we're gonna get a little bit of everything, man. I think you guys are gonna box, you guys are gonna be technical, and then I think you guys are gonna let the hands go too. You know what I'm saying? And then, like Fight Night Finest said, what version of Brahmi are we going to get? You know what I'm saying? And knowing you can adjust to the styles too. So I think we're gonna get a great fight, man. Especially if it's competitive on the scorecards. I feel like both fighters are gonna make adjustments late, and we're gonna get fireworks.
Without a doubt, this round one, starting off pretty fire. Both men exchanging punches. Johnson obviously looking to Johnson looking to go fight on the outside, to avoid the hooks by Brahmi. But overall, not too much going on in round one here.
Shoot, I wasn't paying attention to the size and the reach advantage and stuff like that. Is there a big reach advantage or anything in this one? That's the end of round one.
That is now the end of round one. We have Brahmstar coming out, pumping the triple jab and throwing the right hand behind it, trying to make sure that Alvarez cannot, and by Alvarez I actually mean Rax, cannot close the distance. He comes in with a double hook, followed by the jab and the southpaw stance. Now, anytime you have a fighter that comes out in the southpaw stance, he is susceptible to right hands that can come from any position. So Brahmstar should be looking as he gets clocked with a straight left hand and goes down for the first time tonight. Somebody please teach that man some defense. Round number 2. This might be the end, as we see the jab coming out. Now we see the double uppercuts downstairs to the body. Not forgetting the head. even though he was able to do a lot of damage with the straight left, it seems Bronzestar is able to recover, maybe just a flash knockdown. The left hook to the body followed by the straight right hand to the head. He connects again, uses the jab to try to check the range. Bronzestar trying to get it back in blood with the straight right hand as you see him throwing a bunch of power shots. In response and in kind, we see Rax coming back to the center of the ring trying to duplicate the success that he had earlier on in round 2. Mike, whenever you are put down onto the canvas, what is it that you look to do in order to recover from taking major damage?
I mean, the first thing I do is, man, to be honest, I start fighting behind my jab and just try to get my range and my distance again and, just try to get through the round, bro, to be honest. But it depends because, like, if I'm taking it depends how I get knocked down, to be honest, bro. Because if I'm getting worked and I'm getting chopped up and I get knocked down, then that's different. But, like, what just happened to Brahmi, like, he just got caught with that one shot. Maybe I might just go back on the being aggressive,
You hear it from Mike. Aggression or technical is the answer whenever you are put down onto the canvas. So that brings an end to round number 2. We see Bronzestar talking to his cornerman, trying to make sure that he gets some good advice on how to handle the situation that just handled in round 3. So after seeing the completion of round number 2, Mike, tell us, what is it that Bronzestar should do in order to not only recover for the damage, but what is the game plan moving forward?
I think, for Brahmi, he gonna have to get more aggressive, man. You know what I'm saying? I think he gonna have to get a little bit more. Oh, he just got caught again.
He said aggression, and that is not the answer as Rax is mixing it up. Mixed God in the building, high and low with the combinations. But we see that Floyd Mayweather level of defense from Bronzestar, able to catch enough punches and is able to survive getting knocked down for a second time. We see the guard up high, blocking and parrying both the left and the right hooks as Bronzestar starts to go ahead and back up. Counters downstairs to the body to try to slow the momentum of Rax, as Rax is just pouring it on, trying to get him out of here early. We have King of the Chat saying Brahmi doesn't look quite as sharp as usual. Rax is tough too, though, so maybe he's just getting the better of him right now. Now, I think that's an accurate assessment of what it is that we see going on. Now, one thing to keep in mind is when Rax has this type of success early, you don't want to burn yourself out trying to knock your opponent down, because this is indeed a 10-round fight. And this being our main event of the evening, we expect it to go the distance if Bronzestar is able to make the adjustment. We have a minute left in round number 3, and we see the counter punches now coming out from Bronzestar. Jab followed by the
That's
straight.
What he
can
use right there. That counter punch and power counter punching to earn the respect.
Now, Mike, you just mentioned a key word, respect. Why is it important to get the respect of your opponent whenever you are going into these high volume rounds?
It's important to earn respect from your opponent because you don't want them to just walk you down like a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like if you earn respect from your opponent, then you can dictate how the fight's gonna go. You can decide whether you gonna box or you gonna brawl with him. You can kind of, control the pace and the rhythm of the fight once you earn respect from your opponent, and that goes both ways. But if your opponent's just walking you down, how Rax is pressure Brahmi right now. Like, I know he respects him right now in this fight. He's like, hey, I'm confident right now. I got 2 knockdowns on you. So I just think, the power counter punching. Oh man, some more big. What would you do, Fight Night Finest, if you was Brahmi?
The first thing I would attempt to do is to slow the pace down. As we saw on the scorecards pop up for round number 4, we have Raymond Johnson in control with 2 knockdowns currently in the fight. So the main thing you want to do is you want to slow your opponent down by finding counter shots downstairs to the body. However, Brahmi's doing it in a way that I believe is unsafe because he's doing it behind a high volume. We're starting to see the volume slow down a bit and him more focused on defense in round number 4. but you have to. It's like a fighting game, Mike. Is when you know it's your turn. If you've ever played a game like Street Fighter or Tekken, there's times where it is your turn. Brahmi has been getting caught whenever it is that he tries to interrupt that turn, and that's why he's been put down onto the canvas twice. So if I'm Brahmi, the main adjustment here is to wait my turn. Try to do damage after Raymond Johnson finishes his combination and then look to punish downstairs to the body. There's a perfect example of it with a counter right hook downstairs, and that's going to make Raymond Johnson think twice before he just lets go of his offense.
No doubt about it.
Yes, sir. That
We
power
welcome Rax back
counter-punching.
into the booth now as he makes his return. So we have you in the actual
Ooh.
booth. What is it that you were thinking here in round number 4, Rax?
Well, round number 4, I was thinking, maybe I may get a knockout on Brahmi. Obviously you guys seen the success that I had. Only other man to get a knockout on Brahmi in SFC history, Mike Granger, also in the booth. And yeah, there we go. Another, there goes another, another stun, but Brahmi used some excellent defense skills there to use the little push, and then the clinch, just to make sure that I wasn't, able to knock him down. That was just perfect right there. You seen, I was only able to land like one punch since I stunned him. But, yeah, man, I was thinking that I may be in control of this fight, at the moment, but I just have to keep it up, man, because Brahmi's always game. You seen when he does get stunned, his defense is on point, and I know you guys have been saying 2 knockdowns, but it's surprisingly only been 1 because I was like 1 punch away from dropping him, but Brahmi's defense was just perfect in that corner. So here we go. Both men trading. Oh, that was a nice blocking there by Johnson, blocking all 3 of those punches. Oh, that was a nice combination there by Brahmi, going upstairs, downstairs, and then back upstairs. So here you see Johnson, or me, just using the jab, trying to open up Brahmi. I feel that in this round I am in control, but yeah. We got about 15 seconds left in this round. Number 5. About to cross the halfway mark of this fight. Well, we are in the halfway mark. There we go, at the end of round 5. Mike, what do you see here, what do you see different here from Brahmi from the first few rounds into round number 5?
I think his comment in his, but I just think in the beginning of the fight, you kind of just took it to him.
Right.
I think you kind of threw him off his game plan and you took it to him. So I think right now, you're in control of the fight, but I think right now Brahmi's starting to settle in.
Indeed. We're saying Brahmi get more comfortable with those combinations.
Yeah, it's like the fight is
right
just
there.
beginning, like right now. It's like the fight just started.
Right. Rocky start for Brahmi. Obviously, throughout those first 5, I'd say Brahmi probably won 2 rounds there. But, 3 to 2 rounds, still good for me. But, including a knockdown, that's even better. But we're seeing Brahmi settle in now. We're seeing him, get counters, land combinations. Like you said, Mike, this does look like the beginning of, the fight right here. The beginning of the real fight here.
Yeah.
Good 1-2 there by Johnson. Dude, that was a nice counter to downstairs by Fatton or Dyson Fury.
That's what he's going to have to.
Yeah, that is what he's going to have to do. Beautiful blocking there by Johnson. Textbook defense. Oh, that was a nice hook there that Johnson caught Brahmi with. Johnson stepping forward now. He may think that he has something here. And Brahmi just doing that's a perfect example of how to circle out. We kind of thought he was circling, into the corner from the ropes, but he circled right out, put himself right back on the front foot, and then circled back away, just to avoid any more damage. That is how you circle out from the corner. Good jab there by Brahmi or Tyson Fury. Beautiful. That was a great round there by Tyson Fury. That might have been his best round. He was able to land some counters early, and in the middle and late part of the rounds, he was able to, land enough punches to, create, no doubt that he won that round. Oh, that was a nice straight there by Johnson. Going in with the double uppercuts after.
Going to the body, fighting behind the jab, switching up the angles like he was doing, and the counter punching. You know, I think that would get, that work for him for sure. Ooh.
And Tyson Fury has some of the hardest hands in SFC right now. So I have to just imagine what Johnson is feeling like. What is his health looking like? Obviously, we don't see any cuts on Johnson, but, that's just something to think about. No visual damage, but, those body shot counters really do take a toll.
Getting a lot of shots.
Yep. Oh, nice body shot counter there by Brahmi. Hey Mike, you're lagging. Like, can you try to leave and then join back real quick? That's a nice jab there by Johnson. Nice body shots there by Johnson. Ripping to the body of Fatton. The body uppercuts. It's a nice straight that popped in there by Fatton. And that was a pretty even round, I'd say. Fatton had the counters, but I think that was Johnson's round. And I guess the judges kind of messed up. They gave the 6th round to Johnson and the 7th round to Fury, so I guess we're all good. But on the Fight Night judges scorecard, the unofficial scorecard, the scores were 67-65 for Fury. Finest, do you agree with that?
It sounds pretty accurate to me. It's a pretty good, accurate representation of what's been happening in the ring.
Right. Either 67-65 for either man, or 66-66, and Brahmi gets stunned again. He does the pushing, and he headbutts. What the heck? Oh, the push straight to the body. Obviously, that was kind of illegal, but the headbutt.
Where'd the headbutt come from?
Oh, man. Brahmi tried to buy himself some time. Brahmi gets back up to his feet. You said what?
I said the veteran move?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not sure, but it was all good. Both of these men going for it, and I think that right there, man, that could have that could have been a game changer for Johnson. Johnson just stepping in with the jab now. Johnson actually going for a clinch, maybe to disrupt timing or something. I'm not sure. Beautiful shots to the body there by Johnson. Making Fury miss as he circles around the ring. Beautiful blocking there by Johnson to block the 2-punch combination. Nice uppercut there by Johnson. It was a nice little straight there by Fury to get him off there at the end of round 8. And that was just a good round for Fury, just for recovery. We seen him get dropped early on in the round. He saves up his stamina knowing that he's going to have to go big in these last 2 rounds. So that was pretty smart. Pretty veteran move right there by Tyson Fury or Brahmi. Good jab there by Johnson. Oh, nice 3-punch combination.
Oh,
Brahmi comes back with a nice little counter to the body. Nice little counter there by Johnson. We haven't seen too many counters from Johnson tonight. There goes one. Ooh.
dang. So
Oh, another counter there by Tyson Fury. What were you saying, Mike?
at this point of the fight, like, what is your thought process? Are you thinking like, let me box and win these rounds to to win this fight? Or are you thinking like I can finish him?
Well, what I'm thinking is on Brahmi's scorecard it said 67-65 for him. On my scorecard it said 66-66. So I'm thinking with the knockdown on 2 rounds, I just have to win at least one of these last 2. And I'm trying to win the 9th so I don't have to worry about the 10th. So right now I'm just trying to win this round so I can secure the fight. But we will see what happens. Obviously, in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, if another knockdown happens, it's going to come down to the round where a knockdown did not happen. So I'm trying to win this round so I don't have to worry about the 10th. And so
All
far, I
right.
think that I was doing a pretty decent job of, accomplishing that goal as we have about 30 seconds left in round number 9 of our main event.
What a fight.
Yeah, what a fight this has been. Oh, that was a nice straight there.
Oh, that was a good straight.
Yeah, that
He
was
might have.
beautiful to
He
disrupt the
might have
combination.
did something. He
Right.
might have did something.
That is the end of round 9. That was another gimme round, I feel.
Last round.
And Finest, going into this final round, what do you think the corner said for advice for both fighters?
Well, you don't want it to go to the judges' scorecard. The main thing here, just go out there, have some fun, and attempt to get the knockout. Leave it all in the ring so you have no regrets.
Right. So, yeah, that could be said for both fighters, man. Obviously, Brahmi's seeing a different scorecard than I did, so his mentality going into this final round may be a bit different. Both of us had a bit different mentalities, as we seen different scorecards, and that one little point could change it all. That was a nice power uppercut there by Tyson Fury. Fury, beautiful hook, and Johnson starts to back up. Beautiful jabs there by Fury. All the hooks. Johnson backing up again. He's retreating. Fury feels that he has done enough to win this round so far. And Johnson gets stunned. And he goes down with an accumulation of left hooks.
Like 6 left hooks in a row.
Oh man, that dude was on the Ryan Garcia, man. But oh man, Johnson goes down for the first time in this fight, and I feel that this couldn't have been a worse moment for that to happen. We have about 35 seconds left in this fight, but Johnson with that knockdown, obviously it comes down to round 9.
Oh, and as long as you survive too.
Yep. We got 10 seconds left in our main event of SFC 1 here in Atlanta, Georgia, and Brahmi clenches.
They gave him a low blow.
As a sign of good fight. We got Johnson. We got Brahmi, Tyson Fury. No visual damage yet. What a fight, truly. And let's see who this decision comes down to. And it goes to Tyson Fury. Now, that fight right there, it all came down to the 9th round, I feel. And, Finest, what are your thoughts on the decision, and do you agree with the scoring?
Yeah, I think Brahmi did a very good job of adjusting. Tyson Fury did an excellent job of maintaining his composure and making the adjustments needed in order to come back from being down by 1 knockdown. Excuse my earlier mistake of 2 knockdowns, but he was rocked so many times that damn near should have been 2. So
I thought it was 2, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
it should have been 2, but
I thought it was.
These referees can be real lenient sometimes. They don't call
bro's knee.
Bro's
knee touched, man. I seen it. No, I'm just kidding.
He said bro's knee touch.
Or when Raymond Johnson has got the judges in his favor, sometimes they got the referee in his back pocket. Sometimes they let things like that. They let things like that go.
Right. And overall, looking at the stats, Brahmi did land quite a few more punches than Johnson. And he, overall, it was a great fight. Dyson Fury was able to land a lot more punches than Johnson. But a lot of that was, led by the jab. If you look at how many jabs Fury was able to land. Overall, just a great fight. Both guys left it in the ring, gave it their all. And it all came down to round 9, which was a great round, a toss-up. And good fight to Brahmi. And I can't wait to see him back in the ring. Now, before we go, we have one thing to show you guys. Obviously, the SFC rules. But these are the SFC Olympics for the month of August. We have Javier Urbina versus Samuel Dupree in the first round. Urbina, obviously, we shown before, 6-0. Dupree 0-1 in the amateur system. We have what's his name? Kevin Russell versus Louis Mancini, and they fought before. Kevin Russell barely thugged it out, but this should be a good rematch in the first round of the Olympics. We have Kagi Hernandez, who we shown as well in our top amateur rankings, being 5-1 versus Ibrahim Foe, who is 1-2, but Ibrahim Foe is a very, very dangerous 1-2. And we have Hemi Gendricks versus Vogue Marciano. Gendricks 3-0, and Marciano being 2-0. So overall, the Olympics should be good. We have a great cast of fighters here. Obviously the favorite would be Urbina, Javier Urbina, or Nang, being 6-0 so far. But I wouldn't be surprised if Hemi Gendricks or Vogue Marciano makes some noise, as well as Kagi Hernandez. But that was SFC 1. I want to thank everybody in the chat who came through. Arachnid Soul, Nave, Kush, King, So, yeah, I appreciate you guys coming through. And you guys have anything else to say, Finest and Mike?
Nah, not really, man. Just hope everyone has a good one. And, hey, y'all already know, tune in tonight. Spence versus Crawford. It's going down, man. Come on. That's all I got to say, man. That's all I got to say.
Yes, sir. Finest, you have anything else to say?